and gentlemen, last week in a live stream with terrible audio quality, I said this.
Oh, that is a nice looking graphics card. That looks amazing. I want one of those.
And I wasn't kidding. I love that graphics card so much that I bought it the very next day, and I sold my personal system so that I could build an entirely brand new build around this graphics card right here. Now, because the graphics card that I love so much is this beautiful shade of white right here, I think we can all assume that my new personal build is going to be a white gaming PC, and you would be correct. Now, the one thing that you don't know, and you don't know because I haven't told you, is we are going to be moving from Intel to AMD. Now, I do prefer AMD systems when it comes to gaming PCs, but I was using Intel for, its productivity. The first build that I had with Intel for the system was a 14900K, and the second was a 13700K. And because of Intel's issues, I feel like it's a safe bet to move back to AMD. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be making the shift back to Team Red, and we're going to be using what is undoubtedly the most beautiful looking graphics card that I have ever been in possession of. So without further ado, let's get started. You know what I love about this job? I can do it barefoot. What a gig. Oh, and I get to build really awesome computers. Listen, before we deep dive into this beautiful thing right here, I need to talk about this beautiful thing right here because INNOCN sent me over this to take a look at, and while this is not really a channel that reviews PC monitors, I do have the ability to read you the box stats, so let me put on my glasses and we can dive into these box specs real quick. This right here is a 27-inch 4K mini LED ISP panel monitor by INNOCN. The model number is 27M2V. It has a pretty impressive 160 Hz refresh rate with a 1 millisecond response time. This monitor offers versatile connectivity options, including USB-C up to 90 watts of power delivery, a DisplayPort 1.4 connection, and dual HDMI 2.1 interfaces. It is compatible with desktop gaming PCs, laptops, tablets, phones, and gaming consoles like the Switch, the PS5, and the Xbox. Whether you are conquering office tasks, diving into design or photo/video editing, or immersing yourself in gaming adventures, this monitor ensures top-notch performance across the board. No, I did not memorize any of that. I can read you the specs of this thing all day long, but what really matters is the experience you have when you're using it. Now, me personally, I use a 32-inch ultra-wide 1440p 144 Hz refresh rate monitor for my main display, and I have a 27-inch 1440p monitor for my secondary display monitor, and I have never played on 4K ever. So this right here is the first experience that I have had PC gaming on a 4K display. And I gotta tell you, I'm blown away. I have got to make this my main display. Even though it is not an ultra wide, this thing is stunning. The blacks were so much deeper. It's the brightest monitor I have ever used. The picture quality was fantastic and the response time was unbelievable. I definitely recommend this display. Now, I will say that the design of it feels a little thick. I would have thought that maybe a 4K display, the bezel would be a little bit thinner. This is a much thicker monitor, but I mean, who's staring at the back of your monitor anyways, right? Regardless, thank you so much, INNOCN, for sending this thing out. I really loved playing on it, and I'm definitely going to be adding it to my system. Now, let's talk about this thing. You guys should get yourselves one. It's awesome. I love it. All right, monitor, I love you, but you're in my way. You got to move. Just for now. You'll come back. I am so happy that we went with the 7950 X3D CPU for this build, because when we built the Season 1 Build Up Challenge Grand Finale computer, that had a 7800 X3D, and the gaming performance from that CPU was unbelievable, and I knew that I wanted to have that for myself, and the 7950 offers that exact gameplay, but it also allows me to work on the channel. As I do a lot of video editing and a lot of productivity tasks, I needed something that was a little stronger than the 7800 X3D, so this makes it so that I get the best of both worlds. Another bit of inspiration that I took from the first Build Up Challenge giveaway computer is these D30 fans. I absolutely loved how these fans looked and performed because this system is extremely quiet. It's probably the quietest PC that I have ever owned. Most of the computers that I build with this amount of fans, you can hear this from any room in the house, but this computer right here, I don't even know that it's on, and it's right next to me. Now, if I had it my way, I probably would have gotten a 4080 Super for this build, but unfortunately Asus doesn't make this graphics card in a 4080 white version. They only offer the like gray and black version of the 4080 Super, and I really wanted this graphics card. And as I don't do very much gaming these days, most of the time when I'm on my computer, I'm just working on the channel. I don't really need a 4080 Super, so a 4070 Ti Super is just fine for my personal use. And in a second, I'm gonna show you the gameplay at 4K from this system. I don't really need a 4080 Super. Now, just like every single computer that we have ever put together on this channel, you can find negatives in anything. There's no perfect computer that exists. There's always gonna be one thing that you wish you could have changed or something that you wish you could improve on. And unfortunately, with this system right here, there's one big problem that I have with this build, and it's with the case. And it's really, really sad for me to say that because I really love Jonsbo. I have reviewed and worked with tons of their cases, and I've always been very blown away with their build quality. And unfortunately, you're not getting that same quality with the TK-3. Now, I worked with the TK-1, which is their very small, compact version of this style case. And by style case, I mean with the rounded glass in the front. And the TK-1 was an unbelievable build quality. I mean, it was so nice to work with that case. And I felt like I was gonna be getting the exact same quality with this because this is their larger version of that same exact model. And unfortunately, you don't. It's very flimsy, very cheap, very thin metal here. It even bows in the back where the graphics card is, where you screwed it down to tighten it to the case. I mean, it's got parts of this case when they sprayed it white that aren't fully sprayed, so you can see the bare metal paint color slightly through it. It's this top piece right here feels 3D printed. I mean, it even looks like it's even got like the spikes in here where the molding was snapped off. I mean, it's just small little things. And I know I'm being very nitpicky, but you know, it's not what I expected from Jonsbo. So regardless, it's staying in this case. I'm not gonna take it out of here because, I mean, we bought it and it looks beautiful in here. I mean, and no one is gonna tell me that this thing looks ugly. I mean, even if you don't like white computers, you gotta say that this thing looks pretty clean. I mean, come on. But it was unfortunate to see that the case didn't meet the expectations that I had for it, but it's still a nice case. You know, the glass makes up for it, I guess, right? The glass that I don't have on right now, because I wanted you to see it. I didn't want to glare. Can't have a glare, man. So let's move on to gameplay. So for this beautiful thing right here, I tested 5 different games, and I hand-picked those 5 games because they were either the games that I am currently playing or they are games that I really want to play. And as this is my new personal build, I wanted to see how well this system would play the games that I love and I want to play. And you gotta keep in mind that I game tested every single piece of footage that you are about to see on that INNOCN 4K display. So this was all done at a 4K resolution. So to kick off the gameplay testing, I took it easy on this system and I played a little bit of predecessor with max settings, and we were able to get an average of 110 beautiful frames per second. Getting away from the MOBAs and into a genre that we have never tested on the channel, I wanted to see how this system fared in an MMORPG because Throne and Liberty just came out and the visuals are pretty great for an MMO, and with these settings set as high as it will go, we're getting an average of 105 FPS. Now, while I have not gotten too far into Horizon Zero Dawn, it is in my top 5 games to play, and hopefully with this new system, I'll be able to dive further into this game. But with these settings maxed out, we're getting a stunning 89 FPS on average. Another game that I absolutely love is the First Descendants, and if you have ever played this game, you will know that it can hammer a PC. But with every setting maxed out, an average of 79 FPS is what we are getting. Now for the last game in our list, I tested Black Myth Wukong because as far as games go, the detail in this game is unreal. And to get an average of 74 FPS in this game at 4K, I thought that was pretty darn impressive. Now, obviously, like I said earlier, I do the majority of my gaming at 1440p, and the 4070 Ti Super is going to do a much better job at 1440p than it is at 4K. If I was gonna really take 4K seriously, I probably would have, purchased a 4080. And if I really felt like spending, almost $2,000, I'd buy a 4090. But I'm not about to spend $2,000 on a 4090 when the 5000 series cards are knocking on our door anyways. So the 4070 Ti Super is where we are going to be for the time being, or until I sell this computer because I'm addicted to selling my personal systems. This is like the 5th time I've done it. But hey, in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys think about this system and if you would have done anything differently, because me personally, I feel like this might be the most beautiful thing that I have ever put together with these two bruised and beat up hands. And I mean, I know that some people don't like white builds, but you can't tell me that this build doesn't look absolutely awesome. But regardless, if you had a little bit of fun here with me today, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It helps the channel out tremendously. And if you had an extremely good time here with me today, consider joining the Discord server. You know, we do a thing called the BC Build Up Challenge, and I picked the winner for the grand finale computer of that system from my Discord server. Plus, there's a bunch of people who love computers in there. So if you love tech, go ahead and consider, joining up. It's free. And as always, just know that no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having the most fantastic day, and I'm gonna see you right here for our next video.